I swear I just... Fuck off. Holy fucking shit. Nah, fuck this.
I had no idea what Johnny saw. He was standing in the kitchen, I was standing on the landing, and we were just talking about our Ouija board results, and he just took off like a bat out of hell at something in the living room.
Oh, hits home pretty hard.
Get your ass out of my way. Get the ass out of here.
Huh? So I almost felt like glass when I crossed my shoulder.
If your heart isn't too strong, ensure you don't watch these videos alone, as your fear rate will increase. Take a look at this young man taking a dump who encountered eerie sounds, or this lady noticing human faces on inanimate objects. In this video, we will look at 15 insanely scary internet videos that will fuel your fear. Let's dive in. 15. Imagine being alone in a room, playing a melodious song, only to notice you weren't alone after all. I mean, a being loved your music and came to join you. Take a look. This young man is indeed braver than most. I, for one, would have exited the moment I heard that, but the young man indeed stuck to his gun. We guess upon the second occurrence of the event, it dawned on him it was not ordinary, and he ought to leave immediately. Next, number 14. Hitting the gym is a good way to stay fit. However, what happens when you are all alone in a gym center and be hearing noise from a nearby room? Instinct will advise you to run, but this brave man went on to explore. Take a look. So it means that the melodious song we all heard was being played by unseen being. It would be very difficult living in an environment such as this. In order to confirm his suspicion, the young man found out he was indeed all along. It's best to quit the premises then. 13. After having a face-off with a stronger bully, wouldn't you retreat away from the bully? Such was the experience of Mark, who after a strange encounter, took shelter under his bed. No, don't laugh him. Take a look. Thankfully, man's best friend was just around to reduce his anxiety and fear. Perhaps, if the dog weren't around, who knows what might have happened further. After cowering for a while, Mark stood up to confront the intruder. However, he saw no one, except that the intruder showed its presence by messing around with objects. Number 12. Abandoned properties aren't the best of places to go for vacation. I mean, there is a reason it was abandoned in the first place, and going there, one might encounter unpleasant beings. Take a look. Once the meter indicated an unusual frequency, the visitors knew immediately they were not alone.
Huh? So I almost felt like glass when I crossed my shoulder.
And as a proof that indeed they weren't alone, the injury of bodily harm on his body was alarming. They should leave the premises as soon as possible. 11. Having a nanny camera in a child's room is always a good idea. However, when no nanny was around, yet a being is observed, then it is best to be very cautious. Take a look. The young man, being all alone in the house, noticed a disturbing occurrence and when to find out if he was correct or incorrect. Well, after setting up his camera, he found out that indeed an unknown intruder was there all along. It might be best to leave the house at this point. 10. Staying up alone in a room and noticing some weird patterns is a rare occurrence. I mean, how can you comfortably sleep in such a room, knowing that something is lurking around? Take a look. That is definitely the face of something, right? I mean, what other possible explanation could that be? Tell us in the comments section. As a strong lady, she activated her inner Sherlock Holmes in a bid to find an answer to the anomaly, but found nothing. What is going on? You have any explanation for the occurrence? Leave us an answer in the comments. 9. When a plane is descending, it is common for air hostesses to warn passengers not to leave their seats. Of course, safety is the reason for this. However, watch what happened here. Why exactly would prompt a passenger to do a thing like this? I mean, even if he doesn't care for his own safety, what of the safety of other passengers? He should be charged to court. So this passenger has been fined through hours of flight but few minutes for the plane to land. He lost his patience. This is very scary scene. 8. Cars, no matter how strong they are no match for trains. Which is why once a car driver comes across an intersection, it is best to distance one.
Jong, wacht er weer, dat ding man. Wat? Wat? Kom door! Kom dan! Jong! Rijd door hem, achterlijk naar de trein! Nee, klaar,
As it can turn to a sad scene pretty fast. Take a look. The young man tried warning the lady so that she can quickly run to safety, but perhaps she didn't see the need for such an endeavor. And just in a couple of seconds, the most dreadful day of the woman's life unfolded. Gosh, that was a terrible scene. I can't even imagine the terrible pain she must be going through right now. 7. Truck drivers deserve awards. We know how risky the whole driving thing can end if a driver isn't careful enough. Take a look at this video. Unfortunately for the truck driver, he forgot to lock his cabin, and in a residential highway, this proves to be a very costly mistake. Well, luckily for the driver, he was able to jump off just in time before the truck crashed into the neighboring wall. Thankfully, no life was lost, but that was a very close shave that could have turned out pretty bad. 6. When in court premises and a defendant is surrounded like this, then something must be wrong. I mean, who can nearly 5 officers be around a defendant whose charges are over 10? Take a look at this video. With those charges read aloud, we can all agree that a man of this nature should never be left alone in a public place, else he might attempt doing the impossible.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
In case you are still wondering, this footage showed the man in action when he attacked a judge in January 2024. With his verdict, I am sure he won't try to assault public officers anymore. 5. Imagine being in a train in an over-flooded area. That is a very scary scene, as all through the journey, your mind will be racing if the floods destroys the rail tracks or bridges. Take a look at this video. That was indeed a disturbing video shown in an almost 3D manner. I can't begin to imagine the thoughts that was going on in the hearts of the passengers. Luckily, no one was hurt, but I am sure that is a scene nobody in the train would love to experience again. 4. Have you ever witnessed an ongoing war? I bet not. However, one thing we can take from war veterans is that it is an ugly sight no one should ever be in. Take a look, and just while granting the interview, this officer had missiles in his direction. It was rather brave of him not to cower or hide for safety like his colleagues. War is a terrible thing and should be avoided at all cost. Thankfully, the officers were unharmed by the incoming missiles launched in their direction. 3. Imagine you were having dinner with family when suddenly an uninvited guest intrudes. Shocking, right? Well, that was the fate of this poor family. Take a look at this video. And in that instant, everyone tried to run to safety. But however, the poor animal had inflicted a huge damage. Luckily, no one sustained major injury, but that must have been really traumatic for the family. 2. It is always a beautiful feeling to visit nature and bask in its beauty. However, this young man had a funny but scary encounter that shook him. Take a look. However, his excitement would easily go off the moment he discovered it was not a harmless octopus as he thought. What seemed to be a lovey-dovey moment quickly escalated as the young man was stung by the jellyfish he thought was an octopus. Thankfully, it was handled before it caused any major injury. 1. It is a common sight for family members to lit fireworks for celebrations, and so was the intention of this family, but it took an unexpected turn. Take a look. And as soon as the damage started, the motherly instinct sought and did protect her kid from the carnage that happened few seconds later. And in a few seconds, what started as a fun moment was changed forever. Thankfully, no one sustained injury. Please tell us your favorite in the comments section, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Could that be wind or something extra behind it? And as if to answer to a question asked, the door responded.
Sale conchetumare. Conche.
A terrifying thing to see. 2. There are some persons, not even $1 million will convince to enter an abandoned house. Well, this young man and his crew qualify. Thus, they took a venture. Take a look.
¿Hay alguien? Huele asqueroso, güey. Asqueroso.
No se ve que haya nadie arriba, ¿no?
As if to welcome them, the friendly ghosts started with mild noise-making.
¿Estás riendo, güey? ¿Estás bien, Tony? Tony, ¿estás bien? ¿Estás bien, güey?
Since it appeared all the ghosts went into hiding, they succeeded in possessing one of the crewmen.
Me quedé sin luz.
Estaba riendo, güey.
¿Yo?
¿Sí?
No.
¿Sí?
Acabo de... Se me acaba de apagar la luz.
Now might be best time to leave. 1. Due to ill luck of making and catch, the men decided to wait in their car. Would they catch any being? Well, take a look.
Bicicleta y de pronto se nos pierde, no alcanzamos a ver bien. No sabemos si sea gente que puede estar llegando aquí o si salgan de otra parte. La propiedad es muy grande y no la conocemos. Entonces no sabemos exactamente de dónde pudieran estar viniendo. Vamos a ver si tenemos algo de suerte y vamos a estar expectantes a ver si es que alcanzamos a ver a alguien, ¿no? Especialmente la persona que se nos hizo ver a todos, que nos estaba viendo, ¿no? Yo al principio pensamos que era una sombra, pero después pensamos que no, que había alguien más ahí y que parece que no estaba para nada contento con nuestra presencia. Entonces, ¿alcanzas a ver desde aquí, Tony, allá lo que es el templo? ¿Si se alcanza medio a ver algo o no?
Déjame ver porque casi no.
No.
Nada.
Híjole, es que...
Quizá cuando pasen los carros.
Ok,
Se
sí.
va a ver bien.
Ok. Ahorita de momento está complicado. Hay algunos relámpagos en el cielo, como que quiere llover, entonces también eso podría ayudarnos. De pronto pareciera que se ve algo allá, ¿no?
Sí. Ahí estás. Ahí la
Ve. De pronto me da la impresión de que se ve. Se ven como sombras.
Ahí está.
Ve, como si hubiera alguien adentro incluso.
Thus must be a tough job for these men to wait patiently for an unusual creature. And indeed, their patience paid off, as they saw a being almost floating in thin air.
Sí.
Ok, bueno. Ve, ahí parece que va alguien. Ahí parece que va. ¿Lo ves, Charlie? Digo, con tu cámara imagino que no, pero... ¿Sí ves?
Sí lo alcanza a ver.
¿Verdad? Ok, hay que mantenernos aquí a distancia.
No creo que nos hayan visto, ¿verdad?
No.
Porque
No,
sí
espero que
estamos
no,
bien
güey.
tapados.
Estamos lejos, estamos ocultos.
My bones are shaking at the sight. Gosh. Which video was your most scary? Let us know in the comments. Also, please subscribe to our channel for more scary contents. knows what would have happened before, and while making a quick getaway, karma struck.
Damn! They just got smacked!
This is totally unbelievable. Gosh, I hope they are all okay. I can't even watch further, so let's go to the next. 13. Imagine doing your job and unknowingly harmed someone in the process. That was the fate of this garbage truck driver. But how exactly was he supposed to know someone was in there all along? That was indeed a long voice and cry. That position again.
Holy crap!
Well, that was exactly the experience of the over 300 persons aboard this flight headed to Paris. While the flight was handled eventually, all the passengers came out quite terrified. Well, I would too if I were in their position. Up next, number 11. Mountain hikes are usually therapeutic. It is a place for everyone to interact with nature. However, a mountain landslide can occur just about any time, fatally injuring hikers. No, not you, hiker. You would be safe. Nobody would pray to experience this firsthand. I wouldn't wish it on my sworn enemy. Somebody must have annoyed the mountain greatly. Otherwise, why the second phase of the landslide? This is very scary thinking about what could have happened to any hiker on top the mountain that morning. Up next, number 10. Snakes are cute creatures when they are small, right? Can you say the same of their anaconda cousins? I bet not. I wouldn't even be in the same space with that huge creature.
Yeah. Oh my god. Hello, lover. Where's it going?
I love my life too much.
That's as close as we're gonna get to a real bear. Look at this bear. Look at this bear.
Oh, these men don't appear to be as scared as I am. I mean, being just 3 feet apart from a bear is a dangerous game I don't like playing. Take a look at the huge size of that beast. Thing can happen anytime. Well, some persons like this man has a strong heart, which is why he could act like this. I can never imagine myself in front of a bull, threatening him like this. That took an unexpected turn. I can't imagine the level of pain Hikijay would be going through right now after challenging the forbidden beast. My heart is with him. Let's jump to number 6. What would be your first instinct when a group of armed men run towards you? I guess you'd run away or lie down, but this hero right here didn't. This is such a sorry sight to watch. I am sure 1,000 thoughts must have ran through the head of this. I know you have visited one this year. Well, while it's all fun, incidents like this can happen though. Imagine enjoying yourself on a ride and all of a sudden the machine got stuck with you upside down. Yes, you heard correctly, upside down. As if that was not enough, the park gets shut down. I feel for the people stuck up there. Next is number 4. There are houses you visit and you feel like you're in paradise. I bet your home looks like that too. Well, so does this home too.
These are mosquitoes?
Yeah, if you step on them, you're going to smash them and make it really hard for you to clean them
Everything seems to be perfectly made for vacation or relaxation. I will like to spend a night here someday. Well, wait a minute. Did you just see that huge heap too? How could this guy have even touched them? Is he now infected or something? Gosh, it makes my skin crawl, so let's jump to the next. 3. Imagine riding a bicycle in the cool evening among company of friends, and all of a sudden an ant bit you. Well, that's less painful compared to what happened to these couple of cyclists. Everything seems to going fine till the unexpected happened. Gosh, was the driver drunk? I can't wrap my head around this unfortunate incident. Let's leave to number 2. Imagine going to a wedding ceremony, and while in the midst of the vows, one of the groomsmen marries the bride instead. Disturbing, right? Well, that's exactly what this helicopter did, as it totally stole the show from the celebrants. So, what if the huge Being a police officer is one tough job, as every day comes with its unique encounter. Take a look at this young man who fled a crime scene after committing a crime.
Tampa, Florida. Pursuit of teenagers.
Or this car owner who rammed into a police vehicle while escaping. Well, that's not even the end of it, as we will show you 20 scary encounters the police can't explain. Let's dive in. 20. No police officer hopes that his or her day will be drama-filled. Well, since officers have little or no control over the actions of citizens, they do with what's available. I mean, take a look at this young man who, after physically abusing his wife, ran off. To imagine that this offender was on this high speed at rush hour when vehicular movements is at its peak is very scary.
This guy looks like he's on a suicide mission. He doesn't care who's in his way.
Starts out as a domestic violence call.
Since the suspect didn't stop voluntary, a little push from the officers was all it took.
It's over. It's over. The car is upside down. The police unit rammed the suspect's car, and it's flipped upside down. Wait a minute. Okay, the suspect is out of the car, and this guy just won't give up. Well, the cops are all over him. This guy is not going anywhere.
19. Imagine you packed your car in front of your house, only to discover it's been stolen. What would you do? Of course, a call to 911. And so did the victim of this car theft. I guess the thief must have thought he would have a clean getaway, but karma said no.
I got a pursuit, Tremont Street, gray Toyota.
At 70 miles an hour, the suspect races toward a red.
While the suspect was thinking of maneuvering tricks, he didn't what the officer had planned.
Here he attempted to run over a Boston PO, okay? Coming up to Washington Street.
And with the accident, the long chase is brought to an end.
Easy. Not for this suspect.
18. It is often said that committing a crime is easy, but getting away is hard. I guess this suspect must have heard that phrase and wanted to try the hard part. Take a look.
behind him, very close right now. At this point, LAPD, all they want this guy for is failure to yield.
The man.
We can notice how the officers in pursuit tried to maintain a reasonable distance so as not to disturb other road users.
He's in the right shoulder, passing this van, but he doesn't look like he's got a lot of control over the car, does he? Oh!
Nice one, officers. There is only so little a suspect can do when being pursued like this suspect. And at last, our gallant officers have the final laugh.
Oh, look at him now. Oh, he's going the wrong way on the freeway. Oh! He's going the wrong way on the freeway. Northbound 605 on the southbound side. Oh, and he's now foot bailed. He foot bailed. And the car's still rolling. The car is still rolling. He foot bailed. He's running across the freeway. And he's over the wall. He gets off the freeway. He's under those trees now. Foot bailed. Police officers. And he's still running. Okay, they got him now.
17. There is often a temptation once a driver enters a highway. I mean the temptation to floor the pedal and recreate a Fast and Furious scene. Well, as beautiful as that might sound, it's best to do it within the stipulated speed limits. Take a look.
Guys, I got a signal 19. He's doing well over 90 now. He's not stopping.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
This driver obviously didn't give a care in the world as he sped as if he had an appointment to catch up with. The officer was quite brilliant to ask for assistance when he did, knowing that his patrol vehicle was no match for the car.
CB channel, this is a deputy sheriff. We're in pursuit southbound of a red vehicle. We need some assistance here.
Fortunately.
16. Ever seen police officers on foot running towards somewhere? I bet you have. Of course, at that point, it would be best to leave their path as they may be on their way to save the world. Take a look.
Get this guy. We're right there, too. All right, they're coming this way. Yep. Somebody's in pursuit. You got a primary unit in pursuit and a secondary unit in pursuit of a white utility truck. It's possibly a stolen vehicle.
On seeing a scene like this, we all knew there is definitely someone on the verge of getting away. Let's watch with fingers crossed. And in a flash of light, our officers apprehend the suspect. 15. You thought car speeding was only done during daytime. Then, you have to think again. I mean, why would this man be dashing like he was the one who made an attempt on Trump's life? Take a look.
The man barrels through these suburban streets with the...
It would be a bad scene for any innocent road user caught up in this madness. Despite being caught, the suspect refused being arrested.
Get out now! Get out now! Come on!
Thankfully, K9 unit, Dog, was just around to halt what would have been a terrible scene. 14. It is a common sight to be stopped by a police officer, right? I mean, there could be 1,000 reasons for stopping someone, and in that circumstance, the stopped individual should obey, right? Well, take a look. We can see this calm officer calmly trying to reach a common ground with the driver. However, what happened next was surprising. Well, just as the officer sought to use reasonable force, the driver runs off. We can't but imagine the distress that must have caused the officer.
Going out of car.
He sprays, but too late.
13. It is the ambition of everyone to be popular, right? However, who would want the popularity gotten from a televised pursuit by police officers? Take a look.
These are involved in this pursuit. That's the car down there. It is a white Buick. Looks like they may be getting ready to do a move. Oh, looks like he's going to be northbound.
Having 3 cars and a helicopter on your tail isn't an ideal situation, but the driver seems to be enjoying it all. However, the poor car gave up, and helping the officers in the process.
He started to lose it, went to the left.
12. Ever seen a wanted man on the run? I have, and it is anything but nice as the fellow can try everything possible to escape, even injuring people in the process. Take a look. Once this wanted thief noticed he has been made at the border, he took the law in his own hands, destroying everything in his path.
He rams a tourist.
That was a bad and scary day for the Border Patrol agents, but we hope they would apprehend the wanted man. 11. It is often hard to catch a car thief when the police officer is driving a rickety car. No offense, officers, but how possible would it be to catch a car as fast as this? Take a look. As we can see, the gap between the two vehicles kept on widening by the second.
There are several big rigs in a row that he's going to have to negotiate somehow. He's passing the first on the right shoulder. Very dangerous maneuvers at these speeds. He's fishtailing. Oh, there he goes. He's hit. He's hit. This car has shattered into 1,000 pieces.
Will this suspect ever be caught at this rate? Save for the truck indeed. If not for the truck, maybe the suspect would have ran off without being caught. 10. Highway pursuits are always fun to watch, especially if one is not in the scene when it was happening. Take a look.
Texas DPS has now taken the lead.
This is exactly the type of heart-pounding.
With this breakneck speed this driver was effortlessly pulling off, we can say he doesn't need an audition to star in any of these fast car movies. Well, since this is reality and not movies, the suspect had a fatal and scary end.
Behind the Texas DPS. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, it's turned over at the...
9. What would you do if you have a flat tire all of a sudden? To change it right. That's make the two of us. However, take a look at this man.
Tire, but he's really hauling.
Shooting erratically across 4 lanes of highway, the suspect...
I mean, despite having a flat tire and under pursuit by cops, he felt stopping was for cowards. And out of nowhere, he ends in a scary manner.
He's just crashed.
The suspect and his passenger are...
8. Truly, every day is for the thief, but just a day is for the owner. Take a look.
Over Brown Blazer.
A news helicopter watched as the...
After stealing from grocery store, this young man made a dash to escape, but the long arm of the law was on his ass. Well, the young man took a hostage, but fortunately, our gallant men in blue brought everything to normalcy. 7. When a suspect is fleeing at the speed of a light, then an officer also has to drive at that same speed to catch up. Take a look.
Slowing the suspect down.
At these speeds, the police have to stop this man now before somebody gets killed.
He's driving very rapidly.
Of course it is a highway, but this kind of speed can easily result in a dangerous consequence. Well, as the suspect didn't want to be arrested, he took a scary turn that not even the police saw coming.
Driven right into the Calumet River. The windows are down. The car is filling up with water. I believe the suspect is still inside the car. The police have just arrived. The car is sinking like a rock. Oh, an officer just dove into the water.
6. When a suspect knows he is on the wrong side of the law, is it not best to surrender? Well, this young man thought otherwise. Running away from an officer will complicate things further.
He's after.
A news chopper joins the chase started by a drunk...
And just before we could say Jack, one of the most horrible events in the world occurred.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm sorry, oh no. Oh no. This is terrible. This chase has just ended. Boy, I'm speechless, I'm sorry. Oh man. What a horrific crash.
The
5. Police officers are allowed to stop vehicles on reasonable suspicion, right? Take a look. 2. Being an officer isn't a walk in the park, as this woman narrated to the officer. Take a look. What could be the reason why those people were lying down? We hope to find out soon enough.
MS. They came in, performed CPR. After checking for a pulse, checking for life, that they were deceased. So we have 2 individuals that are deceased right now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and switch on your notification for more exciting contents. Number 1. On February 24th, 2015. People living in a quiet area in New Jersey started to smell sharply of gas. They reported the problem to the police right away. Numerous calls were received, all describing the same issue, an intense gas smell. Emergency services reacted quickly after realizing there might be a threat. To find out where the gas leak originated, police, firefighters, and utility personnel were sent to the location.
It is also rerouting buses and passengers.
As soon as the rescuers got there, they started looking for the leak's location. They felt they had to take immediate action to avert a calamity because of a powerful gas smell, which suggested a serious issue. Finding the gas leak and securing the area to keep the locals safe was their main objective. Authorities made the decision to evacuate 75 nearby residences as a precaution. Their first concern was the citizens' safety, and they didn't want to take any risks. While the inquiry was ongoing, families were advised to vacate their houses and relocate to a safe distance. The worst-case scenario started to happen all of a sudden. A huge explosion occurred, and the police cruiser's dashcam caught it. The explosion had so great force that pieces of it flew in all directions. The house where the explosion happened was blasted away from its foundation and totally destroyed.
Injured, one critically. Crews are now working to fix the gas main break.
The horrific scene, in which parts of the house and other debris were strewn all over the place, was captured on dashcam footage. The explosion injured 15 persons, mostly utility workers and firefighters, even though it was vacant and undergoing renovations. A few of them needed to be evacuated to adjacent emergency departments due to serious injuries. The explosion is believed to have been triggered by a broken 2-inch gas line. What caused the explosion to occur and the exact reason for the breach are still unknown. Number 2. This incident was captured on New Mexico's Highway 10. Officer Darian Jarrett asked Omar Felix Cueva, the driver, to get out of the car during a routine traffic check. Cueva is 39 years old. The events that followed were horrible and shocking. Cueva got out of the driver's side of the car, carrying an AR-15 style gun. While Officer Jarrett was approaching the back of the car, he struck Officer Jarrett with an unexpected shot, sending him sprawling to the ground. After that, Cueva went around the rear of the pickup truck and shot Officer Jarrett many times, leaving him critically injured. Soon later, an agent from Homeland Security Investigations came on the scene and requested help. The search was underway for Cueva. Cueva was quickly found by New Mexico State Police officers Lionel Pauls and Sonny Montes traveling east on Highway 10 close to mile marker 116. Cueva fired the officers after stopping his vehicle. Although the officers fired back, Cueva was able to get away from them. Cueva continued to drive east on I-10 as law officers from many departments joined the chase. Cueva's car was eventually stopped by an officer close to mile marker 140. Cueva, carrying a gun, emerged from the car before it could stop completely and fired several shots at the police. Cueva was struck multiple times by the return fire of law enforcement personnel. Officer Adrian de la Garza was also hit by gunfire during this exchange, but he recovered and was allowed to go with minor wounds. Cueva was declared dead at the spot after suffering his injuries, despite the police's best efforts to assist him. Number 3. The site of our next event is in Arkansas, where dashcam footage shows a spectacular explosion. On October 15, 2005, at around 3 in the morning, Arkansas Police Corporal Randy McAdams was called to Hobo Jungle Park in response to a crash. With his years of training and expertise coming into play, Randy made the decision to stay still and assess the situation carefully before moving forward. He was aware that venturing into an unfamiliar scenario too quickly could be highly hazardous. He saw that the fog was not clearing up as one might anticipate. Rather, it appeared to persist and grow, suggesting that it might be something extremely dangerous. Randy's dashcam kept rolling as he sat in his police cruiser evaluating the situation, catching every moment of what was going to happen. The scenario took a sharp turn. An enormous explosion was suddenly filmed on Randy's dashcam. The scream was deafening as the screen erupted with fierce flames and blinding light. Randy managed to escape the explosion by hurriedly backing away from it. A tanker transporting compressed flammable gas, propylene, had been punctured as a consequence of the incident. The gas seeping from the tanker was the fog that Randy had observed. When Randy first noticed it, the gas had not yet ignited. But soon, it made its way to a neighboring house, where the water heater, possibly, started it on fire. The dramatic explosion seen on dashcam footage was the result of this.
Oh, it gets home pretty hard.
Get your out of my way. Let's get the out of here.
Number 4. Lincoln County. Deputy Jeremy Gatney recorded an unsettling and endearing occurrence on dashcam in January 2016. While on a normal patrol, Jeremy came across an unusual situation. Jeremy came upon a roadblock as he got closer to a junction. When he examined it more closely, he saw that it was traveling in his direction. It was a child rushing in the center of the road, close to his front bumper, so he pulled down and switched on his lights. After swiftly picking up the boy, Jeremy started inquiring about his parents' whereabouts. The distraught parents were found soon after, frantically looking for their kid who had vanished. The parents were unaware that their child was absent for minutes until it was revealed that the child had inadvertently left the family's home through an open door. Despite a thorough investigation into the possibility of child neglect, the occurrence was finally ruled out to be an accident. Nobody was charged with a crime in this instance. This tragedy emphasizes how crucial kid protection is, as well as how vigilant law enforcement must be. Number 5. In 2022, on a cold February day. In Shawano, Wisconsin, Officer Jeff Buettner was traveling down a roadway while on normal patrol. The roads were covered with ice, causing driving exceedingly dangerous due to the adverse weather. Everything appeared normal as Jeff carried out his patrol, until all of a sudden there was a huge car crash directly in front of him. Numerous cars had lost control and collided with one another due to the slippery conditions. Jeff attempted to slow down as soon as possible, but the slick roads prevented him from stopping in time. Jeff's police car struck the collision directly. His automobile was hit by cars from behind before he could even understand what had happened. Jeff was essentially unscathed, but helpless to move as a result of the unrelenting collision that locked him within his cruiser. Jeff got stuck, but he didn't panic. He told everyone he was fine, although he was hurting and needed to call his boss. It took Jeff 6 minutes to figure out how to get out of the car.
Hey, officer, are you okay? A little sore, but... I'm a little sore, but I gotta try and get a hold of my...
He then instantly started assisting other stranded drivers. 10 people were hurt in the pileup, which included 39 automobiles in all. This tragedy serves as a sobering reminder of how hazardous icy conditions may be and how crucial it is to drive carefully and attentively in such weather. Number 6. Rookie, Delaware. State Police Trooper. Hassan Hollis finds himself in a critical situation in the state of Delaware. It started as a typical day for Trooper Hollis, who was waiting for a tow truck to come get a stalled car on a freeway on-ramp. But things suddenly took a sharp turn for the worst. Hollis saw a red Buick Regal passing by as he waited. This was no routine sighting. Only a few minutes before, a radio call had been made asking all local officers to be alert for a car that fit that description. The car was connected to a potential abduction. Trooper Hollis left the disabled car and immediately started chasing the Buick on the highway. The pursuit was short-lived. Hollis quickly followed up to the Buick and verified that the license plate was the same as the one provided during the radio conversation. As backup was called for, Hollis was ready to bring the car to a very careful stop. Lewis said coolly that there was someone in the trunk when asked if there was anyone else in the car. When the police opened the trunk, they found Jassy Kohaya's body inside a bag. After more research, it was found that Lewis had bought the suitcase, surgical gloves, duct tape, and safety goggles from a local Walmart only a few days ago. The horrific events are thought to have started at the nightclub hundreds of miles distant from where Jassy was last seen. This is regarded as the location where Lewis enticed her into his vehicle. Lewis Coleman entered a not guilty plea, but a federal jury found him guilty based on a preponderance of the evidence. He is presently awaiting his punishment. This incident emphasizes how crucial it is for law enforcement to remain vigilant and respond quickly. Number 7. 2 police vehicles were on North Keene Road in response to a routine traffic stop. Dash cams were mounted on both cruisers, prepared to record any events that might arise while they were on patrol. Everything appeared normal as the officers came and got to work. They had no idea that a stunning turn of events was about to disrupt their peaceful routine. The police noticed something strange 2 minutes after they arrived at the traffic stop. From above, they saw a little plane descending slowly. It appeared at first that the plane was just flying low. However, it was soon evident that there was a problem with the aircraft. The 4-seater airplane began to lose height as it approached them directly. When the cops realized the jet would not make a secure landing, the situation became serious. During the descent, the right wing of the aircraft struck a tree, sending it spinning out of control and crashing on the side of the road. After arriving for a normal traffic stop, the ground officers were now handling the aftermath of an airplane disaster. As soon as possible, the police officers moved to secure the scene and make sure that nobody else was in danger. The emergency services were dispatched quickly, and their intervention assisted in the situation being under control. Mark Allen Benedict was the pilot and was joined by a single passenger. The engine began to fail soon after takeoff. Mark told the airport about the problem and said he didn't think he would be able to return. Mark was left with no choice but to try a roadside crash landing. Amazingly, Mark and the other man emerged from the debris with only minor wounds. A potentially fatal event was avoided because of their adept management of the circumstance and the police officers' alertness on the site. There were no injuries to anyone on the ground, and the emergency services' prompt action made sure that everything was quickly brought under control. What are your views on this? Which of one of this is the most disturbing thing caught on camera? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.